They kicked me off the family cruise, so I took control of their yacht. The Monaco marina shimmered under the warm Mediterranean sun, with rows of sleek, luxury yachts swaying gently in place. I stood on a private dock, watching my family line up for photos in front of what they believed was the yacht they'd rented for their so-called successful family members-only cruise. If any of them had taken a second to actually read the name on the side, Emily's Dream, they might have caught on a little quicker. But before I dive into all that, let me say this, I've noticed the channel's been slowing down a bit lately. If you're here and you like these stories, hitting that subscribe button is the easiest way to show support. It's fast, it's free, and it really helps keep this community growing strong. Annie, what are you doing here? My mother's voice sliced through the sea breeze, still as sharp as ever. This dock is private. I smiled, calmly fixing the scarf around my shoulders. I'm aware. I know the security folks, I said. She didn't miss a beat, waving to the dock staff like she owned the place. We have an intruder, she called out. A security guard strolled over, looking crisp and proper in his neatly pressed uniform under the morning sun. Is there a problem, Miss Caldwell? He asked politely. Yes, Mom said with a certain smugness. My daughter is trespassing. This dock is for the yacht owner only. I'm aware, he replied, still cool as ever. That's why I let her through. For a split second, her perfect little world cracked. What? Miss Emily is the owner, he said matter-of-factly, using the name I go by professionally, the name I built my shipping empire under, while my family still insisted on calling me Annie. We've been expecting her, he added. For a moment, there was just the sound of the waves lapping against the hull. My brother Ethan froze mid-pose, his expensive sunglasses slipping halfway down his nose. My sister Lily paused with her champagne glass hovering near her lips. This is ridiculous, Mom finally said, her voice shaky. We rented this yacht through Elite Maritime Services. That's my company, I offered casually. Along with around 30 other luxury vessels here in the marina, I let my hand slide along the polished railing. Though I'll admit, this one's always been my favorite. Your company? Lily's voice wobbled. I pulled my keys from my bag, the electronic FB that controls the yacht's security system. With a soft beep, the gangway lit up and the systems powered on with a low, satisfying hum. Impossible, Ethan muttered. You never said anything. Dad always said. I cut him off. Yeah, Dad said a lot of things. Usually without checking if any of them were true. Speaking of Dad, he stood in the back, quiet, his face impossible to read. He was the one who told me 10 years ago I was wasting my life by starting a small boat rental company instead of joining the family real estate business. Now, that same, successful family member's only cruise of his was about to take a real interesting turn. But the booking, Mom started, flustered. Yes, I nodded. Weekly Elite Maritime confirmed your rental of Alexander's Dream for a 7-day Mediterranean cruise. I paused for effect. If you'd done your homework, maybe you'd have noticed the CEO of the company is named Emily Caldwell. Just then, my phone buzzed. A message from my port manager. Everything ready for the reveal? Perfect timing. I typed back quickly. Let's show them what success really looks like. I raised my voice so it carried across the dock. Ladies and gentlemen, I said, welcome aboard Alexander's Dream. Or better yet, my dream. Right on cue, the yacht's crew stepped out, spotless in their uniforms, not giving my family a second glance. Welcome aboard, Miss Emily, they all chimed in unison. The master suite is ready as requested, my chief steward added with a respectful nod. And the extra accommodations have been prepared. I noticed the slight twitch in Mom's face when he emphasized master suite, the one she'd specifically asked for when she made the booking. Now hold on just a minute, Mom started. No, Mother, I cut her off. Just wait. For 10 years, you left me out of family events because you thought I wasn't successful enough. Called my business a hobby. Told everyone I was finding myself, while my siblings were out there building real careers. I gestured around the marina, sweeping my hand to take in the luxury yachts. Take a good look. Every yacht flying the Elite Maritime logo? The same company that ships your precious real estate supplies? Yeah, that's mine, the luxury charter side of things. You used to book this cruise through my company, I added. Lily was already frantically pulling up her phone, Googling Elite Maritime Services. Estimated worth, she muttered. Oh my God, she gasped. $4 billion at the last valuation. $4 billion, I supplied, but with our recent expansion into Asia, it's probably closer to $6 billion now. Not bad for a hobby, right? Ethan stepped forward, slipping into his usual business mode. Annie, if we'd known. You mean? I interrupted coolly. You'd have what? Invited me to the cruise? Bragged about your successful sister? Tried to claim credit for my work. That's not fair, Mom protested weakly. We were trying to motivate you, by shutting me out and making me feel worthless? I laughed, but there wasn't a shred of humor in it. Well, congrats. You motivated me all right. I built something so big, you ended up paying me to rent my own yacht. I caught the faint smiles the crew tried to hide. They'd heard plenty about my family during the planning. Dad spoke up for the first time, his voice gruff but curious. Hello. How much did we pay? 200,000 euros, I answered. Non-refundable. Of course, he said with a smirk. Though I suppose I should thank you. That'll cover the cruise bonuses for putting up with this little family drama. My phone buzzed again, this time a breaking news alert. Elite Maritime Services announces major expansion. Stock soar. Oh, and by the way, I said, holding up my phone so they could see the headline, you might want to check your investment portfolios. Several top financial advisors are recommending Elite Maritime stock today. Lily's face fell. Mom sank down onto a dock bench, the careful plan for her perfect cruise crumbling right in front of her. But where will we stay? She stammered. Oh, the cruise is still on, I assured her. Just with a few adjustments. I nodded at the chief steward, who stepped forward with new room assignments. Ethan, you and Megan will take the port guest cabin, small one near the engine room. Lily, you and Jacob are in the starboard crew quarters. Mom and Dad, you'll be in the forward cabin, cozy crew quarters. Lily shrieked, but we booked M. You booked through my company on my yacht, I reminded her. And as the owner, I've made some changes. The master suite, naturally, is mine. This is outrageous. Mom stood up, furious. We'll find another yacht, M. In Monaco, during peak season. I smiled. Good luck with that. Elite Maritime controls most of the luxury charters in this marina, I said. And even if you find someone independent, your deposit's still non-refundable. My phone chimed again, a message from my marina manager. Paparazzi arriving in 10 minutes for the Elite Maritime press conference. Want them to catch the family drama? Perfect timing. I texted back. Make sure they get my good side. Looking around at my stunned family, I said, you've got two choices. Stay and enjoy a lovely Mediterranean cruise, just in slightly humbler digs than you expected, or leave, lose your deposit, and explain to all your society friends why there aren't any photos from your luxury yacht vacation. The silence was only broken by the soft clinking of rigging against the masts. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Ethan accused, watching your perfectly polished family facades fall apart, seeing us realize our unsuccessful sister actually owns the company we're all desperate to impress. I smiled, steady and calm. Yeah, I am. Dad stepped forward, a new look in his eyes, something like respect. You built all this without any help. Without your help, I corrected him gently. Turns out I didn't need the family real estate empire to be successful. I just needed all of you to underestimate me long enough so I could build my own empire. The sudden clicks of cameras caught everyone's attention. Photographers were gathering fast around the marina, all focused on Elite Maritime's flagship yacht and the unfolding family drama on its deck. Smile, I told my family with a grin. These pictures will be splashed across every business magazine tomorrow. Elite Maritime CEO Emily Caldwell welcomes family aboard personal yacht. A story like that practically writes itself, a touching family reunion, right? Mom's face shifted from fiery red to stark white. She finally saw the whole game. Now they had two choices, play along and save some dignity or risk becoming a very public embarrassment. What do you want? She asked quietly. Want? I laughed. I've already got everything I could ask for, a thriving company, a beautiful yacht, and the priceless chance to watch you all come to terms with exactly who you've been looking down on for years. My phone buzzed nonstop, messages flooding in from other family members suddenly piecing together who I really was. Business contacts reaching out, connecting the dots. Social climbers scrambling to align themselves with the real power player. The press is going to want pictures of the happy family, I said. I suggest you all change into something a bit more fitting for a day at sea. Your new cabins have some appropriate outfits laid out. Elite Maritime branded, of course, I added with a smirk. Can't miss a good marketing chance. Lily looked horrified as she glanced at her designer-clad son. Elite Maritime branded clothing, she stammered. Standard crew uniforms, I confirmed sweetly. Since you'll be staying in crew quarters, it's only fitting. The chief steward stepped forward politely. Shall I show them to their cabins, Miss Emily? Please do, I said. And remind them of the crew dress code. We wouldn't want anyone feeling out of place. One by one, my family was led aboard, each looking more shell-shocked than the last. I turned to face the waiting cameras. Emily Caldwell, CEO of Elite Maritime Services, welcoming her family aboard her personal yacht. It was a headline made in heaven. My phone buzzed one last time. It was my PR director. Stocks up 15% on expansion news. Want me to mention the family angle? The message read. I smiled and typed back, absolutely. Focus on the self-made success story. Make sure they know I started as a small boat rental hobby. Success, they say, is the sweetest revenge. But success, combined with perfect timing and a knack for dramatic reveals, that's something priceless. As for my family, well, they wanted a luxury cruise experience. They just never said which side of the service they'd be on. Welcome aboard Emily's dream, family, I said with a nod. Your crew uniforms are waiting in your cabins, after all. Every good success story needs a humble beginning. And nothing says humble quite like crew quarters on a yacht. You thought you were important enough to rent out the Mediterranean. The sun gleamed off the yacht's pristine hull as photographers jostled for the best shot. Another perfect day in Monaco, Well, at least for one of us, I said, grinning. I turned to the captain and called out loud enough for my family and the press to hear, "Shall we set sail?" The anchor began to lift, and I could feel my family's last illusions slipping away as the yacht started to move. "I believe my guests are eager to begin their experience," the captain said with a nod. "Sometimes success isn't just about the money. Sometimes it's about making a statement. And what better way to make that statement than by showing my successful family-only crews that success doesn't always look the way they imagined it would. Welcome to my world, family." I glanced back as the crew gathered on deck. "The crew meeting starts at dawn," I added with a smile. "Don't be late. The owner doesn't tolerate tardiness."